Now to a couple of huge updates in the race for New York governor. Today, Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado ended his campaign against Kathy Hochul for the Democratic nomination. Delgado recently tapped Buffalonian India Walton as his running mate in an attempt to try to court progressive support. That didn't really materialize, though. Delgado said there was simply no viable path forward. Meanwhile, Republican Bruce Blakeman has selected Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood as his running mate. This after several other sheriffs turned down the offer. The New York Times reports that included Erie County Sheriff John Garcia, who was asked to be Blakeman's lieutenant governor candidate, but declined. Lots to discuss with Bob McCarthy, our 7 News political analyst, who joins me live. And Bob, you reported the news about Sheriff John Garcia before anybody else did. I want to ask you about that in just a moment. But first, let's discuss Antonio Delgado dropping out of the race here. How does that change the dynamic? And before I do that, I'm sorry, let me put this up on the screen. This is part of the quote that we got from the Delgado campaign. He says, "I will also support Democrats in our effort to hold the line against Trump and take back our democracy. I do not make this decision lightly, particularly given that so many have poured their belief into our campaign and are desperate to be given a voice." What do you make of it?
I think, Michael, it makes a clear path for Governor Hochul even clearer at this point. I mean, the word viable path is exactly the words that he should have chosen in this. It just wasn't there, especially lately. He failed to, the lieutenant governor, that is, failed to get the required 25% at the state Democratic convention in Syracuse last week that would have allowed him to be on the ballots. That meant he had to petition his way onto the ballot in a
That's
state.
hard.
Yeah, he has no support beyond his home base in Schenectady in the Hudson Valley. And he has virtually no money compared to the $17 million and growing that the governor has in her treasury. And 62% of those surveyed in the latest Siena poll didn't even know who he was. I think that he thought that Mayor Mamdani's victory in New York City kind of showed the way for a very progressive candidate such as Antonio Delgado to maybe win statewide, but it just didn't come together for him. And I think he just realized the obvious today and said, no.
Yeah, and the progressives didn't line up behind him even after he chose India Walton from here in Buffalo. Just sort of didn't
well,
bring
that's
the
interesting
support
too.
that he
That
needed.
that didn't really balance the ticket the way that normally happens. You know, you have 2 blacks, you have 2 upstaters, you have 2 very progressive candidates that wasn't working for him either, I think.
So this really sets up the race now for November, right? We're not really going to have competitive primaries. It's going to be Kathy Hochul versus Bruce Blakeman. He picked the sheriff from Madison County last night to be his running mate, reportedly the 4th sheriff that he asked to join his ticket. Should that be concerning to them?
Well, I think it tells you very much about how crime and fighting crime is going to be at the top of their agenda. It worked very well for Lee Zeldin 4 years ago. He came within 6 points of beating Kathy Hochul on that whole platform. So, and when you think about it, 3 of the last 4 lieutenant governor candidates have come from law enforcement. You had the sheriff of Chemung County with Rob Astorino in 2014, and you had Allison Esposito from the NYPD with Zeldin, and now you have Sheriff Hood. So this tells you that's the road they're going to go down. That's the one they've chosen. And, you know, it's worked for them with some success in the past, but we'll see what happens.
It worked 4 years ago. The difference between 4 years ago and now is if you ask voters in these polls, New Yorkers are not as concerned about crime now as they were 4 years ago.
No, and the county executive is a very big supporter of ICE and of President Trump. And New Yorkers in all of the polls are not supportive of ICE or President Trump.
Yeah.
So he's got to get over that hump and talk about some other things that, maybe some pocketbook kind of things that Republicans have always talked about, but not had a lot of success for a long time.
The cost of utilities, that's a place to start. People care about that a lot.
Yeah.
Bob McCarthy, Bob, thanks as always.
Okay, Michael.
Appreciate you.